I would just mention overnight markets here. Just to kind of recap for those just tuning in right now, this Sunday evening, about 8:40. Futures are down. I got down to the office here about 15 minutes ago, but I had a strange suspicion that the futures were down today because over the weekend, just hearing these rumblings, mostly surrounding situation with Trump, immigration. We had this situation where we had these Syrian refugees coming to JFK, and they were turned around, and then the next thing you know, there was all these protests going on, and I tuned into those protests. They were on at one point, I think it was yesterday. There was a couple people following it on live stream and stuff. There was quite a big crowd. I mean, I think they shut down the airport. I didn't turn on the main channel. I watched it on a Ustream stream. So I didn't know if they were being picked up on major media. I don't know if it was. But at that point, I felt that something was kind of a little, And then this morning I woke up. I found out that one serviceman was killed in Syria. That's the first American serviceman killed under the Trump administration. So that laid it on there. And then we were out to dinner, and then I came back. And hold on, just 1 second. So getting back to where we were here. I got back here, checked out the market, had a strange suspicion that that would be lower, and I thought tonight would be a good opportunity to short the market. So going back here, we see the market here currently down. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm going to guess about 9 points. 8 or 9 points. Enough to know that there is something out there bothering the markets. Considering the range that we've been seeing has not been too great. I mean, you're almost guaranteed to wake up each morning the market be plus minus 1-2 points, or up a little. Tomorrow we end up down here minus 10 on the S&P. I think that's a little concerning. I think some of people could pile on this, and this is all about Trump again. It's his border. The border thing going on here with Mexico right now. The immigration is really, I think, the key thing. As we're seeing a lot of people protesting these people being detained and being sent back. And family, how the media is going to play into this big time. Oh, the father's now trapped outside the country. He can't provide for his kids, whatever. I'm just saying, any way you could spin it, they're going to spin it. And that's what they love to do. So, I think that is something we have to pay attention to, going into tomorrow. And I think with the futures down here, there's a couple good setups on the tradeometer. You could pay attention to tradeometer tonight, probably make some money. Things will pick up around 3 o'clock. But by tomorrow morning, if you get this in the morning, kind of an updated brief, beware. I think we're going to start to hear more rattling of the saber against Trump and some of his policies, and that the honeymoon is over. Right now, we're starting to have our first little fight. Maybe that's a good way of putting it. The Trump honeymoon is over, so we'll see how it comes out. Now, there is a big thing out there. We still have there's still other things that we have to deal with. Obamacare. The tax reform and what we're going to do with the taxes, that's a huge one. That's really going to play with this market. So the market, I would say, going into tomorrow, bias to the downside, possibly even Tuesday. If we get closer to that, when we start talking taxes, the market might start to feel a little bit better. But we'll see. But right now, out of all the times that I've been very bullish on this market, this is the first time I'm actually starting to turn slightly negative over the next couple days. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. I'm trying to bring up a chart for you. I have to start the other charts and then bring up all my charts. Oh, I brought up the wrong chart. Hold on. Shoot. All right. Version 17. And the market, again, 2281. I actually like this. And take a look at this chart right now. And actually, I'm actually recording this, but this is a great example. you see a coil stochastic here, a coil stochastic, kind of a move up here. It's kind of almost a divergence in a way. You have this kind of drift higher in the stochastics, this kind of rising wedge, yet you're just really going sideways on this. Now, lots of times I pay attention to this pattern. Usually it's a negative pattern, and we could actually push back up above the 80 one more time. We don't really break out of this level. Lots of times that momentum breaks down through that trend line, and that trend line breaks it down through the recent lows. So it's something to watch while we're doing this little thing. I don't know if I trade it, but it is something worth watching. Remember the series of higher lows, and that kind of coil, and that coil, especially if that coil goes up and the price is going up like this right underneath, that's where you look for that breakdown. In this case, you're just going sideways. Usually you get a nice move with that coil, but as you can see, we're moving sideways. So I'd be curious to see what happens on this. Be very curious to see that. So let's take a look at the let's take a fast look at the, oh yeah, and that's another one, Seth Hunter, Set Hunter. Maybe the airlines. Delta's having a major issue tonight. So we talked about that, and he's mentioned that Delta as a possible short-term worldwide outage. I say it's hackers, but might not hear that. That would crush the airline industry. So they're hiding things, right? I mean, that seems like the most obvious thing is when the news comes out, how do you hide it? Because once they know that you can get in, hackers get into the airline system, bring down a plane, no one's going to be thinking. So they're going to say, oh, it's, we have a technical issue, we'll figure it out. But I don't think they're going to be a while before they say hackers have gotten into this. Anybody agree with that? But as far as I know, right now, I'm going to look up a little bit more on it right now, see if I could dig down a little bit deeper. American Airlines bids change. All right, hold on. Delta Airlines halted U.S. flights after automation failure. Delta halted U.S. flights after automation failure. Delta's having worldwide system failure. Delta worldwide system failure. I'm going back into my news. Ground and automation issues. Automation failure. You know what? What is automation failure? Well, it is. According to FAA advisory, we're following it. All right, so that's what it is. Let's take a look at the Delta anyway. DAL. Delta had a pretty decent candle, a negative candle on Friday. There's no doubt we're getting a gap down on this tomorrow. Absolutely no doubt in my mind that you get a decent gap down, 50 to $1, 50 cents to $1 maybe, on this, because of multiple things. First of all, airlines, or at least JFK, big, and who knows, they might start protesting airlines, or at airports. That's really put people, in a squeeze. Anyway, down day. Easily get a follow-through down day. I mean, the 50-period moving average 48 and change. 200's down at 44 and change. Yeah. I mean, airlines across the board there. Oh, good. That's good news. Is the audio on? Everyone hear everything correctly? Someone should tell me that the tradeometer was not pushed all the way over. All right, so so Delta here definitely a possible short tomorrow. I mean, they're already going to get the gap down, but I would actually continue to look at that as a short. The Kellogg here definitely one of the best bets. But, the fact that we're going to have a little pressure on the markets, we'll see how well this holds up. This actually might run tomorrow in the case that it might be seen as a safety sector. I'm thinking actually you're good either way on Kellogg. I don't think you're going to get a big down day. I think there's a very positive day, nice push back up. This was a very good pattern. We talked about this pattern on Friday, on Thursday even, the flat line stochastic with the 60-minute rotation. So here's that 60-minute rotation right here. That's why we added to it. And then look at that move up. I mean, it is a nice move up, and it looks like it's ready to break out of this downward channel. A little downward move tomorrow. I'd say follow Kellogg. If Kellogg bucks the trend early, that's going to be even a better setup. Pfizer, drugs are a little tougher these days. I do expect this pushing back up. It is moving back up slowly. Pfizer coming out with earnings on Tuesday morning. Thank you. In the long run, 5 years from now, this is definitely going to be higher. All these drug stocks will be higher. All right, so Delta Airlines. All right, let's take a look at the SPX, and then I'll finish this video, and then we'll just concentrate on some other kooky stuff. Let's go out to the monthly today. Start with the monthly. And monthly here embedded, big candles, very strong. I mean, it's hard, we don't really pay attention to that. Weekly, same thing, embedded, big candlestick breakout. The daily, it turned back up here. This was our key, kind of a reversal here. Wasn't that bad. It was actually holding consolidation. We're pulling back a little. Got that bust out, breakout, 2 days of consolidation. Friday, a little pullback. Tomorrow, probably get a little bit more pullback. The first level, we're going to, of course, that big level, that 2279 area that came in on the futures. I think it was 2279. No, it was which one was it? I don't have it on this screen. 67 3/4, I believe it was. So it was like right around here. So this would be this is a big level. I want to pay attention to this level. 67 3/4. And then if we go back and take a look at that, yeah. So this is a big area. We finally broke away from it. We're pulling back into it. You can see the overnight pull. We're actually probably about 50% back into it. So I don't know if the Fib people out there hear how important that is on that 67 to 300 level. 2300. And this is that's the 5 minute on the cash. So let's just take a look here one more time. Going back to the 1 minute time frame here. And this is exactly what we're looking at. Maybe the breakdown of the stochastics here and the kind of rollover. We'll see. So here's the daily. And again, you're not telling much from the daily other than you're extended overbought. Hourly was oversold but kind of flat line, not gaining much here. I think it's a cautious area, and that's why going into this week, it was kind of light on the HPS watch list. And honestly, there was just not a lot setting up. Nothing I would put up against Kellogg, some other ones that are on the list. If VFC is interested, But the better ones are going to come down the line. You can see the flat line here is, possibly shorts is probably the way to go right now. And that takes a little discipline to turn it over like that. We're extremely bullish up until Friday, I think. And now going on Monday, starting to turn bearish, you still got to pull that trigger. So we have to see if we can do that. I'm going to concentrate, I think, on the futures a lot. See how this market here hangs in here. You see those, good job on the tradeometer here, though. So flat line here, negative. So again, 5 minute, I would say 5 minute cash is not going to give us much. Hourly, flat line, I'm going to give that a negative, even though we're kind of oversold, but because we're embedded for three or more candles, that tends out to be a negative. The daily here rotated back up into overbought level, kind of a down day on Friday. I'm going to give that a negative. So we have a 60 daily negative setup. Futures are down right now. We could end up being down plus 10, plus 15 tomorrow. Down tomorrow to start the day off. I think key, again, if you see Kellogg actually hold close to break even and the market gaps down 10 points, 10, 15 points on the S&P, and Kellogg, closes that gap real fast. Maybe it starts off down a couple, 20, 30 cents. But it closes that gap real fast. Look for a breakout, a fast move higher, and a breakout of that. That could be the day. Brown dog. Who's JoJo? So that's just some of what I'm thinking. I just think that some things are happening with the administration now. They're running into a little static between administration, immigration, trade policy, the service person being killed. I think there's just a lot of it kind of building up. I think that's going to put a little pressure on the markets going in. So kind of slightly bearish, looking for a down day tomorrow, possibly into Tuesday, maybe into midweek. All right, that's the call on that. So we'll finish that off. I'm going to send this video. I want to stop this video, and we'll continue on with the show, though.